It has been a little bit. I think like 2 weeks since I uploaded my last video. Today in this video, we are going to be talking about the Bible. What I'll say about this will probably piss a lot of people off. But I don't really care too much. It's something that I think a lot of people need to realize and or hear. So I'll just start by saying I am referring to the Holy Bible, more specifically the King James Version is what I grew up on. I know a lot of people use the New International Version or the English something version, the ESV. I don't know what the S is for. Standard, I think. But yeah, so I believe this is something that a lot of people are gonna probably not like to hear, and definitely disagree with, and that's fine. So I'll start off by saying that I think the Bible has good and it has bad in it. And you know, people cherry pick things that suit them best, which is gonna sound a little contradictory. I don't know the correct term for that. Considering I say there's good and then there's bad, so it's kind of cherry picking some things out of the Bible. But it's more or less the things that you cherry pick. I see a lot of people who will say that they believe the Bible, and they'll say that they believe everything in the Bible. There is specific. I don't know all the denominations and what the difference between each and every individual denomination is, but I know most of them say that the Bible is 100% true. It is the Word of God. It's everything in there is true. I disagree with that, and so a lot of people are going to say that it's 100% true, but then still only pick certain things that they want to follow. So I think if you're going to believe and say that the whole Bible is true, you should do as much as you humanly can. Follow the whole Bible. And a lot of people don't care to or choose not to. So yeah, the Bible split into two main parts: the Old Testament and the New Testament. New Testament is, I believe, after Jesus. Old Testament's before. And then there's many other scripts and things like that they took out, such as the Book of Enoch, the Maccabee books. I don't know all of them, but those are considered apocrypha. I feel most alive when and yeah, so there's a lot of things that people will cherry pick and decide to not follow. And I think it is our duty as children of God to use our relationship with Him to discern and pick out certain. Let me kill this guy. How did I miss so many? Oh, I got stuck. I'm cooked. Oh, that's tough. It's our job to kind of use our relationship with God to decide what is good and what isn't in it. Like I said, it's a lot of it's perspective, and it all will depend on your relationship with God. But for the most part, if you have a true relationship with God, it's gonna be all the same things. All of those books, old and new, have been translated over many years. And through those translations, I think there's no way that we don't lose, some of the meanings or some of the true, meanings of the words that are being said, and the overall idea of a lot of the things that are said. Oh gosh, can't tell if on Streamlabs it's super glitchy. Okay, well I hope it's not glitchy for you guys. It kind of definitely looks like it is. Maybe I'll stick on that. Give me just a moment. Seconds remain. The ring is close. Alright, well it says I put it in performance mode. It says preview is disabled in performance mode, so I can't see how the quality actually is or if it changed at all, so forgive me if it did not.
There's a new kill leader. Just another
Yeah,
insect if
so-
you ask me.
I believe we're supposed to use our relationship with God to decipher the things in the Bible that we should and shouldn't follow. And I think there's a lot of truth and a lot of lies in the Bible. I think some of the Bible was definitely meant to send people astray from God and give them the wrong idea of what it's really like. How the fuck did that fall out? Oh, done. I see. And it's meant to send a lot of people astray from God. You know what? I hope they don't have a Watson Tower up there. I'm gonna smoke their asses out.
Been down. Zipline here.
Death will have to wait.
Smoke out.
Is there one up there? No, damn it. Oh, okay. There's another caustic trap. That's crazy.
Right here.
I knocked one. That's crazy. Oh, and they just fell on me. That's sweet.
Killed one.
Taking shots here.
Oh, I thought that was an enemy. Ooh, get away from them. I'm going back down. Fuck these guys. I'm gonna finish with this fight before I start talking again.
Firing for effect.
Shields are
Head
recharging.
down.
As I've noted in other videos, I am not great with multitasking. Trying to think about what I need to say. Yeah, there's no getting up there. They got fucking control ahoy. Yeah!
Taking fire. Frag out.
Cool. Gotta jump down how I fucking dare you. Just wish there was a way I could fucking get up there. Without going up those zip lines.
Double timing it. I'm done.
One of them just fucking, I think.
Got extra supplies here. Arm up.
My ultimate's ready.
I'll just gas y'all out again. I don't even know if they're still up there. They are.
Taking fire. Deep breath.
Two.
Shields are recharging.
Fuck it. Now they put lots of pylon up. Oh, my shield goes. I meant to cancel that.
Guys,
Fuck, there's an anything right there. Anyways, so yeah, I mean that's really all it is. I guess we can get into specifics about what I believe is good and what isn't. For instance, I think a lot of the laws of the Old Testament are.
Replicator on its way.
I thought she was gonna run right into it. So I think a lot of the laws of the Old Testament are really good to follow. Not just because they're, the laws are given by God, but also because they are, they benefit us. A lot of the clothing that you can wear, it definitely foretells kind of a lot of what's in our, whatever you want to call it, what's in our world now.
Contact with house.
Is hold on, wait a minute. I want to do duos. I don't like doing trios. A lot of our clothes are made out of a polyurethane, I think is what it's called, or polyester. Hold on, let me do a little research here to figure out for sure, so I'm not wrong. Yeah, so polyester, nylon, and spandex. There are like cotton stuff, wool stuff, and linens, which are things you're supposed to wear. Because I believe, I don't know exactly where, but I believe that is one of the laws that it says. I have it on Duos. Oh, weird. Is there's only, your clothes are only supposed to be certain fabrics, and I think cotton, wool, and linen are the ones that are you are supposed to use. But then there's polyester, nylon, and spandex, which are super popular as well. And I believe polyester. Yeah, they are all plastic-based materials, which some of you may not know this. Plastic is mostly based off of oil, crude oil. So it's not good for you. It's not good for your skin. It's just you're not supposed to wear it. You know, things like that. You gotta look into certain laws and use your relationship with God to decide whether that is something you feel that as a child of God you should do or you shouldn't. And I think that's a lot of what the Bible is there is really no gray area. It's either good or it's evil. And so even if it doesn't appear as evil, it's deceit. Pretty much everything in our current world is designed to kill us, poison us, and dull in our minds, stir us away from God. And I think it's our responsibility to look past all of the lies and deceit and follow God. And the thing is, he does not want lukewarm. If you're lukewarm, picking and choosing the things that you kind of want to follow, or something like, oh, well, this and that, it doesn't matter. If he will chew you up and spit you out. It's and things like that that make sense about God. Just based off of my personal relationship with him, you use that relationship to decide and figure out things that you should and shouldn't follow. So yeah, that's one of the many examples that I can give. I say many, but I really just right now I can't think of any. I just got off an 11-hour shift at work. And that's honestly one of the other things is you don't want to work your life away, not for money. That sounds a little hypocritical from where I'm coming from, but believe it or not, I only work like once every 2 weeks, so I wouldn't say that I'm working my life away. But it is important to make sure that if you just spend your entire life working for money, which is essentially fake, you're just selling your soul, instead of having the faith in God that he will take care of you. And if you have the faith in God that you will survive, you'll get taken care of, it's best you don't you don't work your life away. And that in the system that it's built in, I live in America, so it'll depend heavily on that was quick reaction. I didn't even see it yet. It'll depend heavily on where you're from and what your society looks like. I don't know, but I know in most modern countries, if not all of them, you are pretty much forced to work every single day, minus maybe 1 or 2 days a week, to then get money, which you use to pay for comforts. If you really think about it, what are the things that you need to survive? Well, fire, aka warmth, shelter, water, and food. Which, realistically, I see no reason I can't go outside, start a fire to keep myself warm. I don't see any reason I can't go and hunt for my own food. Run. and I see no reason that I shouldn't be able to boil and purify my own water. But just the way that they've made it in this world, you can't do that. All of that, weirdly enough, is illegal, and they force you to. I am really low.
Shields are recharging.
Phew, bitch, I didn't hear see you. Yeah, they're low as fuck. That Revenant's so low. Yeah, so weirdly enough, I can't just go out into the middle of the woods and decide that I want to live out there, you know, that I don't want to be a part of society. If I wanted to do something like that, I have to buy property, which is owned by somebody, but truly is owned by the government. Then if I want to build my own house, I have to go through all these permits and everything like that. It's just horrible. So it's literally designed to stir you away from God, and I struggling with this part because realistically, the only thing you can do is just leave society and go out the woods. But you know, gotta have a pair of balls for that, and I'm still growing some balls to be able to just fully do that. But eventually, at some point, I think that's what everybody should strive to do, you know. And it's illegal, but that's why you gotta hide. You know, the government is not your friend. And as I've stated, this is all in America. I'm sure rules and certain things are different in other countries, but for the most part, it's all the same. Excuse me. So this world is just so corrupt, and it's meant to take you away from God. It's meant to stir you away, and so it is our duty to open up our eyes to that and, you know, do something about it, because if we are complacent, we're just as bad as the people enforcing it. I mean, there's a reason the government calls us cattle, you know? We know about most of our government being pedophiles. We know about most of our government taking money from APEC, but we, as the people, aren't doing anything. The only thing that I've seen that we are doing is getting rid of those flock cameras, which, that's like a distraction, you know? People are like, oh, they're spying on me, this and that, and they're invading my privacy. Well, newsflash, your phone's been doing that since fucking 2G, 3G. They build a digital profile on you, yeah, your phone, especially now with 5G, and I think eventually they're coming out with the 6G, and it all is meant to stalk you. And I'm low.
That aches you.
It's all bad. And then even if you did want to go, just hide in the woods, you know, make a piece of government land your land. Chances are, if they're looking for you, they'll find you. And it just depends on how much of a threat they think you are, really. If you are pretty much a nobody to the government, then you can probably get away with it. But most people who don't even pay their taxes end up getting searched for by the IRS, and so they have records and just a whole ID on pretty much everybody. So if you decide to drop out of society, go live in the woods, they'll see that eventually you haven't paid taxes, you haven't had a job, so they'll declare you either missing, or they would declare you missing more than likely. And in their search for you, if they find that you're just hiding in the woods, that's so many fines, it's jail time, because they make it not legal to just drop out of society. And if you wanted to go and buy a property so that you can do that, not only do you have to buy the property, but then you have to continue to work to be able to afford the property, unless you have some generational wealth. You have to work to be able to afford the property, unless you're able to pay it out in full, and then you still have to pay taxes every single year on that. And then, not to mention, if you want to build a house, you got to have all these permits. If you want water, you have to have geological surveys and shit to be able to dig wells and do whatnot. And then if you want to, you know, hunt your own food, you have to have a hunting license. You have to have a fishing license, which is crazy because God gave us dominion over the earth, the fish, the animals. I don't know exactly how that verse goes, but we have dominion over this earth, and it's very clear to me that we as humans are different, very, very different from the rest of animals and just beings and things on this earth. So I believe that that part is true when it says that we have dominion over the earth. It's quite obvious we do. But then the government takes that freedom for us to be able to just go and fish whenever we want, for us to be able to go and hunt the food that God has provided for us. And then instead they give us these chips, these sandwiches, all this shit that's horrible for you, filled full of dyes, artificial preservatives, and all this disgusting poison, essentially. And yet people continue to eat it knowing what's in it. And so that's one thing I've been a lot better about, is just my diet and eating more godly, as opposed to, you know what, I do kind of want a sniper. So if I find one.
Thank you.
Yeah. And instead they give you all these things and say, hey, it's only $2 for a bag of chips. Why don't you just buy that? And just over the years, we people have grown lazy. Most people don't go out and hunt for their own food. Which, believe it or not, a cow will feed a family of 5 for about a year.
We're close to the ring. 10 seconds.
Depending on how you sparingly use it. But if you had your own, like, farmstead and, bread and 8 chickens, and then you also get eggs, and then you get cattle, breed the cattle, and then you fucking, then you have cattle and you can have beef. And that will last you a long time. It's the way God designed things to be. And then as far as jobs and, getting shit done, everybody will have a specialty that they learn. I believe the way that you're supposed to live is it's community living, you just find an area, assuming, this is not talking about laws and everything like that in our current world.
I leveled up.
You find an area and just
Packages likely shift the delta in our
live in
favor.
communities. Some people are going to be bakers, and bake bread. Other people are going to be gardeners and farmers and grow the food. Other people are going to use the wool from sheep and the cotton from trees to make clothing. Like, everybody is supposed to have different abilities and skills to be able to work together, live together, and, but humans get greedy and are like, well, I don't want to do this for you, unless I'm getting some sort of compensation for it. And so then that's where shit took a turn. And, people are like, well, because we humans are naturally greedy. Well, I don't want to bake this bread if you're not gonna, do this for me, if you're not gonna do this and do that. But the truth is, if you're living the way that you're supposed to and loving God, you would want to help those people. You wouldn't be greedy. You would say, oh, I see that your garden's not working out so well. Let me help you out with that. I have a pretty good skill at farming. I got a green thumb. Let me help you with that. And you know what? If everybody loves God, you could also be like, hey, you know what? I just am not great at making bread. I just something about the starter or whatever they use to make bread, it just isn't working out for me. If I help you do this, would you mind helping me with my bread situation? Most people say, yeah, of course. You're doing me a favor, I'll do you a favor. And you don't even think about it as favors. It's just supposed to be thought about. It's just, communal living. You live as a community. You help each other out when needed. There is no getting even or this and that and all that other shit.
The ring isn't very far. 45 seconds remain before closure.
Good go. They fucking disappeared quick.
Mark, right here.
Let's go to this area.
I'm trusting that they're over there.
30 seconds. We are close.
Oh, I overthrew it.
That's on me.
Placing gas trap. The ring is close. Death will have to wait.
Warning. Room movement in progress.
Dying outside the ring would be pointless. Charging shield. I'm down.
Shit, I'll get out of here. Get out of here. Ooh, nice. I would just stay away if you could, because they're gonna be pushing you out, so just as far away as you can. You know, and if everybody loves God, you know, you want to help people out, and realistically, that's how you make shit work. Everybody helps everybody out. Nobody owns this part of property. Well, I guess okay. As if I build my house on a certain property and I have my farm right there, you know, that's my property. But I'm not gonna be like, you know, it's my property. You can't be on it. You can't be, you know, doing shit like that. You're supposed to love God, and with loving God comes, you know, the relief of not being greedy, not being selfish, and just things like that. I know this was originally talking about the Bible, but I guess I ended up going on a whole spiel about our current system and the way I believe we should live. So I guess it'll kind of be a little split episode, and then I will do one more match just to just give you all some Apex content. So enjoy.
View right here. Drawing a variable. I still see everything. Getting shot at. Subject down. Subject. Taking fire. That was the last one. Subtract. Subject spotted. I have shattered a subject's shield. Recharging shields.
Leader appointed.
Take a deep breath. My vision is clear.
Spotted enemy firing it.
Introducing a new variable. I am incapacitated.
Close ring. Got a fallback set. Reuniting you with my beautiful voice exit.
Well, I think I'm gonna call it for this video. Thank you all for watching, especially if you made it this far, and have a blessed day.